on like the first map, Gates of Dragonfall, right up next to the spawn points.
Okay.
And it actually worked.
Oh.
It like how it always watch out cussing.
Yep.
How the mages always like they show up and they're always out of range.
Yeah.
Well, this way they're forced to come out of their spawn point, but they're not out of range.
Nice.
Because the range is the spawn point.
Interesting.
So, the only time you have trouble is when there is like too many coming through the door at once.
Sure. That makes sense.
But if it's a good steady stream, it's no problem. Like towers will take care of it. It's so easy. You have to sometimes watch out for things that glitch and get stuck in the spawn point, because then you're really fucked.
Yeah, well, and that happens sometimes even on a normal wave, so that's nothing new.
But if they all spawn properly, then there's like it's so easy.
We'd gone out with my parents to like Rocky Rococo or something.
Yeah, over in Brooklyn Park?
Yeah. That was actually really good pizza.
Yeah?
The service was a little iffy, and like if you wanted water, you had to get like a styrofoam cup that they had in their fridge behind the counter, and like if you wanted refills, you had to like go up to the counter to ask for refills of water.
A little sketchy.
Yeah, and like as someone was using the pop dispenser, the power on the pop dispensers made kind of a crackling sound, and the lights on it turned off, and a moment later they kind of flickered back on.
Oh Jesus!
So
that is an old place, man.
The pizza was good.
Jesus.
But I mean, the food was really tasty.
It's one of those things is that if whoever's working there could dedicate one person to actually improving the experience of it, they would be very big.
Yeah. That's the thing. It was wonderful pizza, and the prices were expensive, but like for the quality of deep dish pizza you were getting, it was just fine.
I've heard their pizza is so good, but I've never gotten a chance to go try it.
My mom had a gift card from work, I think.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason we'd gone, but it was really yummy. I liked it a lot, actually.
So you and your parents are
amicable.
Okay.
Amicable.
I wasn't sure how to.
Yeah.
Approach that.
Public locations are good. It's kind of the way that I'm approaching that situation.
Yeah.
All those.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's progress.
Matt was working tonight at Target, so he did not join us for pizza.
I see.
He sent me a Snapchat that was like a big pile of carrots since he works produce. He said he's hunting for Bugs Bunny tonight. He had probably like 80 pounds of carrots in front of him.
Wabbit. Wabbit.
He's apparently still struggling a little bit with trying to figure out what he wants to go into. One week it's marketing, the next week it's management, the next week it's HR. So he's still floundering a little bit.
But basically backroom business though.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like he'll go into something marketing or management or something like that, and hopefully he'll do well.
Yeah, at least he knows he wants to do business.
Well, kinda.
I mean, it's all going to be business. I don't know.
He's been thinking like engineering as well.
Oh.
So he's kind of still all over the place, but it's I think been more focused towards like HR type work. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get any easier.
No, it does not.
Because that's exactly where I was at some point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Why do I have to make this decision? Why can't I try everything?
Why can't I have like more than zero time to do anything? Yeah.
Right. Why can't I get more job experience before I choose what I want to actually study?
Right? Like, why are there not
Maybe I
more
study all of this
apprenticeships?
and then I get to the real world and do my job and I don't like it. You know, like, isn't that a waste?
Yeah. I mean, the idea of an apprenticeship is really cool. Like,
Yep.
I think there should be more apprenticeships.
I'm beginning to think I'm more of a hands-on kind of guy because I don't like not knowing what something is, like the
Going
experience
to.
of something before I do the theoretical part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. That's, I think, totally justified.
It yeah,
But
bothers me a
I think
little.
I learned best at college, like when you do it in a lab, right? Like, you can do all the theory you want, but until you try out that lab
Apply it.
yourself and apply it and do something with that knowledge, you don't. I don't feel like you really gain nearly as much from it.
Yeah. I find that the way I learn is if I don't experience it, I never fully understand it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like I listened to a podcast called Sawbones, and it talks about different medical kerfuffles throughout history and just different, things that people assume about the medical field that might not be true.
Yeah.
And their most recent podcast was about nursing and nursing through the different years and how it's changed kind of between very male-centric and female-centric programs throughout the years and the weird rules that they've attached to like what the females had to wear and where
What?
they'd sleep and you couldn't be married and you couldn't eat eat at certain bars, you couldn't drink liquor.
What?
You could, it's very, very specific in a lot of the rules. And some of it too is that the nursing industry came up from like covenants, and
Yeah.
so a lot of it was like nuns, and they were talking about how. Oh shit! I was going somewhere with that. What was I talking? What were we talking about? Trying things out.
Trying things out. Yeah.
That like recently there's been kind of a shift from the I would say heroic doctoring to like really trying to take and make good medical notes and
Yep.
not just attempting to try things out and just goof around and try it because like as a doctor you study tons of theory and that's
Right.
really important.
Up until you actually have to do it, and then you're like, what the fuck?
Right. And even if you have an answer, you might not be used to that specific hospital, so you might not be used to certain people that come in. So it's the person was talking about it's like as a doctor, she relies on her nurses for when they have new doctors coming into the hospital because they need to be taught kind of what's standard at their hospital because it's different from other hospitals.
Right.
Every hospital is unique and every experience is different and the information you can gather from those nurses who've been working there for 20, 30 years and they've got 20, 30 years of medical experience. They may not have the theoretical background to know some of the different more unique ailments or things that are lower level things, but in terms of being able to diagnose someone on a whim, you go to your nurses a lot of the time and oftentimes you should ask like, hey, you've read these vitals this way. How do you normally treat this in this hospital? Because every hospital is different, even if there's a medical reason why something should be done one way versus another. Sometimes the hospital does things differently because of budget constraints or inventory management, things, all that has such an impact on their ability to have a constant workflow. Like if you're an ER, you probably aren't going to spend, a half hour dressing a wound when you've got 10 more people that need a wound dressed in the next 5 minutes, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, your theory says you should spend time doing this and you should do these kind of applications and all the rest, but this is a different environment than you're used to. Different rules apply. And it's something like that you have to have the real world experience. You have to be out in the field to know even the semblance of where you're going with it.
Yep. Before you take on even more like knowledge portion rather than experience.
Right. I just found it very interesting how frank they were. Like, as a doctor, don't expect to know things.
Yeah.
Expect to have an idea.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary, but that's how it is.
Yeah. Everyone has
How
to
else
learn
are you
from
supposed
somewhere.
to get experience, though, right? Without doing it.
You have to learn somewhere. They're joking around a little bit, like, yeah, don't go to the doctor. Don't hope you need anything from the doctor in like July time frame. That's when they get all the new doctors at that hospital.
Oh Jesus!
You think like people graduate, they give them like a month of training, and then you start as a doctor, right?
Here they are. Yep. Well, no, well, they need like years of residency.
Right. Yeah. Usually the residency and such before them, but then it's like your first time on the job as like a full-time doctor. It's different, right?
Where you make your own decisions and have no one looking over your shoulder.
Right. I mean, you've got the nurses being like, "What the fuck did you do?"
It reminds me of a young doctor's notebook.
That a book or...
Have you heard of that show?
No.
It's on Netflix. It's Daniel Radcliffe and John Hamm.
Oh, that. Yeah, actually.
It's quite funny if you're in the mood for it. I struggle to find time to watch it.
I feel like I remember watching a couple episodes. Maybe it's the first one.
I've seen a couple episodes, and it reminds me of that because here Daniel Radcliffe is brand new doctor, middle of nowhere, no other doctors to consult with, and the only people who can help him are the nurses, who have been there for years and years and years
and have a ton of experience.
Right. And you know, at that point, the nurses are better suited at this than the doctor himself.
Right, exactly.
It's just that the doctor has a very specific medical knowledge for, like, diseases or, you know, something that nurses don't deal with.
Right. Whereas your nurses have all kinds of knowledge in terms of, you know, keeping it
knowing what's going on,
healthy, knowing what's going on, keeping track of vitals.
Yep.
You know, that's all extremely important and extremely, like, not just to their own safety generally, but also to your diagnostics. In terms of, okay, you know, maybe they've got hypertension. Maybe you shouldn't give them this specific medication.
Yep. Yep. I like how we didn't slowly upgrade everything at once this time, and we're just like, we're gonna upgrade this one tower fully.
Yep.
I find that funny.
Full towers all the time. Just place fully upgraded towers and not place any basic towers. And see how well that works in comparison. I imagine probably not as well because the DPS doesn't scale that great with the amount of mana spent into it.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see if we could do it.
You'd have a hard time unless you had a DPS character.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it worked out. I don't think it'd be practical, but...
I don't know why, but my TV randomly just turns off and then back on.
It's still doing that for you, huh?
Yeah.
Weird.
Not like...
There must be like a sleep setting or something that's not picking up on. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh, there was a boss monster there. Huh. I didn't even notice there was a health bar on the screen. I'm still trying to figure out over at Holly's mom's place. They've got a TV, a 1080 TV.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the image is scaled larger than the screen is. So like you can shift the picture around on the screen, so you can like get it all the way off to the right or all the way off to the left or up or down. But it expands past the edge of the screen in all directions. Like a good, I don't know, probably 5% of screen size.
What?
But I went through all the settings, and there's nothing to take and like change down the scaling. There's for positioning.
What about factory reset?
Did that.
No?
Yeah, didn't do anything.
Huh.
I mean, it did a factory reset, but it's like it didn't make any impact on the picture.
Odd.
Yeah, I thought
so. Oh, weird.
I don't know nearly enough about TVs to know if there's some extra special keys that you can press in some weird configuration that make it jump through hoops and do what you want it to, or unlock certain menus, but...
You could Bing it.
I hate you.
I was gonna say you can Google it, but I was like, I'm sure he probably already did that, or, you know, could do that. So yeah. Bing it instead.
That's a good idea. I'll see if I can get some more information from Bing.
Granted, if you do Bing it, you'll probably get some info on like grandma's casserole recipe or something.
I bet you're right. I don't doubt that.
I don't think I've ever gotten what I wanted from Bing, ever.
The only time I've ever gotten what I wanted from Bing was when I've done those Bing comparison searches, and it's on very specific search terms that they're already, like...
Very popular.
Very popular, right. Like, when I'm trying to, like, fix a problem, I've never found the information I needed.
Yeah. I think Bing... It might be just an experience thing, because Google has been around so long and so widespread that it has collected so much data.
Yeah, it has all the metadata and all the algorithms to back it up.
And so, I mean, it could be that, or it just could be Bing sucks dick.
I think there's a good portion of it on both ends. Like, I think Bing search algorithm is hot garbage.
Yeah.
It has very specific things that it's good at searching that are kind of pre-canned, like the most popular search phrases.
Uh-huh.
But on anything like, hey,
I've
got problems with...
Hold on. Hang on, bud. I turned around and accidentally pulled the... Hello?
Yeah, you're good. I can hear you.
Oh, hang on.
I hear you.
Oh, boy.
I hear you shuffling around. You broke something.
Oh, there you are. Okay, now I can
you.
hear you. I turned around and I felt this tug on my ears, and then there was loose, and I had pulled out my headphones.
Ah, that would make it difficult to hear.
Yeah. Where were we? Bing? Yes.
Yeah, fuck Bing. Basically.
Bing.
Binge.
Carries.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think the search algorithm is that robust. I don't think they've had the number of years of metadata to back up the decisions that they've made.
Yeah.
So I feel it's just generally a worse experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've got 200 mana left. I won't get something fully upgraded. I think I'm just gonna hold on to it.
I've never eaten that nacho cheese in a can, like from Frito-Lay and stuff.
You.
And my friends brought it today.
How awful do you feel?
It's not bad.
Okay. I was gonna say, I can't imagine it's actually that bad, but like, the idea of in a can, like, I realize I have like nacho cheese out of a jar, right?
Mm-hmm.
But out of a can, just that metallic canniness and like the crack open lid, kind of like I do on cat food, like, it's got a stigma to it.
Yep. It feels like survival food.
Yeah.
But it's actually not too bad. It's it doesn't have a metallic taste.
Okay, that's important because
it tastes like the stuff out of a jar. So I mean, obviously it's not healthy for you, but
yeah.
Since when has nacho cheese ever been healthy?
Yeah, it's not.
And if I ever needed to do a party and in a pinch I needed nacho cheese, I would probably pick this.
Okay. That's good to know. I'll take that as a rounding endorsement.
Obviously, you can make much better cheese yourself, but...
Oh, God, yeah. I mean,
in a pinch, this will work.
Okay. Good to know.
Uh-huh. Maybe I'm too spoiled with food, but I would much prefer the kind of cheese that like Jesse made one time for a party at Martin's with all the almonds and nuts in there.
Ooh, yeah.
And then
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
We baked it, and then we took pieces of bread and just
a cheese
had
ball.
at it. Oh man, it was so good.
We should make cheese you know what would be really good is a salmon ball.
A what?
Salmon ball. You take shredded salmon and mix that.
Oh god.
Oh, I teleported. Salmon ball and like cream cheese and what else do you add to that?
God.
I don't remember. It's really good though. It's not that difficult necessarily. Yeah, cheese ball would be pretty easy. We could do that. I think between all of us, we can cook pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, you missed me cooking yesterday.
I did, yeah. Did you kick their ass?
Not really.
Oh.
They just it was a little bit racist because they saw me cooking fried rice, so they're like, I guess he can cook the stir fry too. I'm like, I really don't want to cook stir fry because even though I've grown up in the kitchen and I understand the theory of it,
right?
I have barely ever made stir fry.
Yeah.
And every time I've made stir fry, I usually overcook the veggies just because I'm so worried that it ends up being raw veggie.
Right. Yeah.
It has a very unique taste, and you can't have that in a stir fry, right? You can have it in other cuisine, no problem.
Right. Like for fried rice, you can have your veggies be a little bit overcooked, and they can be just fine.
Right. And so I personally felt like the pea pods were a little soft.
Oh.
And maybe the onions and mushrooms were a little bit soft too.
Sure.
That's because I put everything in at a weird time. I mean, obviously I had no idea what I was doing. And so to speed up the process, I found a lid and I just dropped in like a teaspoon of water and covered it to steam the whole damn thing.
Yeah, just call it steam quick.
I think that did it. It just overcooked it right there.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, obviously everything was solidly cooked, so okay, I guess that works.
Yeah, it happens.
The sauce was good.
Yeah.
Because I've done sauce before, and sauce I understand. It's the timing of the veggies. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, veggies are not easy.
You have to time the veggies perfectly for stir fry to make them crisp.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
but also cooked.
I love when you get a little bit of like black char on the outside of your veggies on stir fry, and they still feel fresh. There's just like a short time on a high heat to get them a little bit blackened, but they still have crunchiness to them.
And that is the hardest thing to do with an electric stove.
Oh my god!
And a heavy wok.
Yeah, that Lindsay's wok is nice, but it is heavy. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, the woks that we use at our kitchen were the super thin stainless steel.
Ooh.
So
Sure.
you put a big stove underneath it, that thing heated up red hot.
Yeah. That'd be kind of awesome, actually.
But yeah, even cooking fried rice, man, like it's just so different. Like cooking in the restaurant, oh, so easy. It would take 5 minutes. Cooking fried rice at home takes like 15, and everything else ends up just softer because you don't have that amount of heat.
You're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
No, I that's the biggest thing that I don't like about cooking at my apartment is the electric range.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's fine for cuisine that can handle that kind of slow heat.
Right.
But you just can't do Asian. It's just not possible. No, it's not meant to be.
No, it's meant to be done over, a big stove.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do it over a big stove, it's not gonna work so well. Gas, or fire of some sort, but not an electric induction heater.
I think the most fun thing was no one really wanted to cook. So Peter and I were probably the best cooks there. Okay. I think Peter probably better than I am.
Nice.
He actually worked in a kitchen.
Okay.
He worked with a bachelor farmer.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? I was like, oh, I feel a little judged right now.
He probably judged a bit.
Well, I'm sure he did, but he was nice enough to not say anything. But,
yeah.
And where was I going with this? I have no idea. Oh, nobody knew what kind of stir fry they wanted. Everyone was just like, let's make stir fry. And
Right,
so
yeah, and
here we have people who are waiting at the house picking veggies, and also people who are buying the veggies picking veggies.
Oh no.
And no one actually knows what we're making. So we have like a conglomeration of veggies that may or may not work together.
Oh jeez.
And here I'm standing in the kitchen. I'm like, I have to put this together still. What the fuck?
What am I going to attach to any of this?
There was onions, mushrooms. They bought water chestnuts and bamboo shoots.
Yeah. Okay.
Pea pods. And I think that was about it.
Okay.
Which wasn't too bad.
That's a pretty
Mushrooms were a little off.
Mushrooms are a little off in there, but that's not too bad of an assortment. Like, you can get away with that.
But they pulled out the canned water chestnuts and bamboo shoots. I'm like, those are going to be so nasty if we don't wash them.
Oh, yeah. I made that mistake once. I didn't know that you should, like, rinse them off.
Oh, my God.
And they were gross. They turned out so nasty.
Yeah, whatever liquid it's canned in, gross.
Yeah. You have to drain them and you have to rinse them.